Alright guys, in our review for the quiz, the first 8 questions are for us to review prisms and cylinders. Let's find a value for each figure, run your answer to the nearest hundred if necessary, and leave your answer in terms of pi for answers that contain pi. For space, let me take the instructions away. So I remember for prisms and cylinders, the formula of the volume is the area of the base times the height. The base for prism and cylinders is the one shape that is not a rectangle. So I come over and I look, there's a triangle. And for my triangle, I'm always looking for the two numbers across the 90 degrees. It's going to give me my area. In this case, it's 4.6 and 12. So the area of the base is going to be 1/2. Triangles always have the half because it's half of a rectangle. 1/2 times 12 times 4.6. That's the area of the base. Whatever I get from there, I'm going to multiply it by 10. That's the height. Remember, in prism and cylinders, for us to understand, find the height is the one number has nothing to do with the base, your triangle. Right? All the other numbers have something to do with the triangle. We might not use them all, but still, 10 is the height. When I multiply this out, 276. What was it? Yeah. So 276. If you guys are using units, it's meters cubed. All right, so the first 8 questions, prisms and cylinders. Volume is base times height. That's it. Like area of the base times the height. Any questions on the first 8? Number 3? Sure. So volume is the area of the base times the height. The base is a pentagon. I see my base there. And I know for the area of a pentagon is 1/2 times the apothem, which in this case is 8.3, times the perimeter. Each side is 12. I know each side of the pentagon is 12. There's 5 of them. So I'm just going to go 12 times 5. And then I'm going to multiply this by the height, which is 4. Right? The 4 is a number that has nothing to do with the base. $196? $996? All right. All right, so any other questions for the first 8? 8, the first 8. Which one? 6. All right. Looking at number 6, the shape we're going to have, like all of them are rectangles. So when they're all rectangles, it's your choice which one is the base. You can use the one that I have the angles there, or my case, let me choose this other one right here. That's going to be the base. You guys can see opposite side is the base. So I'm going to go volume is the area of the base times the height. Notice how that rectangle, the base is an 11 by 4 rectangle. So the area of that rectangle is 11 times 4. Now I'm going to multiply this by the height, which in this case is 10. $440 feet to the third part. I'm assuming the first 8 you guys are good now. So let's take a look at number 9. All right, we're going to move into pyramids and cones. So for pyramids and cones, we saw this yesterday. It was 1/3 times the base times the height. And the 1/3, because remember, I filled 3 pyramids to put it in one prism. So that's where the 1/3 comes in there. So 1/3 is just 1/3. For the calculator, I'm going to go 1 divided by 3. Now for the base we can see it's a square. It's a 9 by 9. So I'm just going to go 9 times 9. That's the area of the base. And then the height in this case is 10. You can see that's the height. Okay, 270. For pyramids and cones, there will be some that might be decimals. Like usually my quizzes and tests, they have no decimals, but pyramids and cones, there will be some that might be decimals, rounded to 2 decimal places, right, nearest 100. Any questions up until 16? 12? All right. Looking at number 12, volume is 1/3 times the area of the base times the height. Once again, 1/3 is 1/3. The base, it's a hexagon, and I'm going to go 1/2 times the apothem times the perimeter. 6 times 6. Right, each side is 6. There's 6 of them, so that's where the 6 times 6 came along. Whatever I get, I'm going to multiply this by 11. 343.2? Alright, I'm waiting on my tablet, kind of froze for a minute. While I'm waiting, just remember the area of the prisms and cylinders, so the first 8 questions, it was just base times height. For pyramids and cones, we just add the 1/3 in front of it. So 1/3 base times height. Once again, I'm still waiting on my writer. Oh, there we go. What did you say it was?
343.2.
343.2. Okay. Are we good up until 16?
Yeah.
The quiz tomorrow, there's 10 questions. There's 4 of these. So up until 16, there's 4 of them. Okay, so now let's take a look at 17. We're going to move into circles, which is what we saw on Monday. So it's asking me to write the equation of the circle. Use information provided to write the equation of the circle. I'm just going to start with my first parentheses. I'm going to write x plus 11 squared. And I change the sign on the 11. Always put a plus in between your parentheses. And then I'm going to write y plus 14 all squared. Once again, change the sign on the y. And then we're going to say equals 4. Because it was radius squared. Right, so radius squared gave me 4. And that's it. And I have 2 of these as well. Any questions up until 24? 24? Okay. I'm going to start by saying x minus the square root of 221 all squared plus y plus 5/2 squared. Notice how I changed the sign on the x and the y. And this is going to equal to 5. Right? Square root of 5 times square root of 5, it's 5. Basically, a square root squared, the square root cancels with the square. Okay. Are we good up until 24?
Yeah. Wait, no, so for the radius, you just
Square it?
yeah, square.
Yeah. Alright, so now looking at number 25, I'm giving you the information graphically. We can see that the center is there. The coordinates of the center are 0, 3. Now the length of the radius from the center, I go all the way out, and I can see that the length of the radius is 3. So technically, you have the center, you have the radius. So using the center, I'm going to write x squared. Notice I didn't go x minus 0, right? I just went x squared plus y minus 3 squared is equal to 9. Right? The radius you square it. So that's how I got the 9. Once again, on the x, I didn't put parentheses because x minus 0, it's just x. So we have these up until 32. Any questions up until 32? 20? All right. You said 20? No, 26? Alright, looking at 26, the coordinates of this one are -3, -3. The radius is 2. Okay, so I'm just going to go x plus 3 squared plus y plus 3 squared is equal to 4. Don't forget that in between the parentheses is always a plus. If you do minus instead of plus, it will look like two parabolas not connected. So later on we're going to call it hyperbola. Like I said, if you use a minus instead of plus, you do hyperbola. So yeah, we definitely want a plus. So any other questions up until 32? And now 33, you have the graph. Give you the information. We can tell from the information, we can tell the centered is -2, -4. Okay, that just changed the signs. The radius, I'm going to call it 3. Because I do the square root of the 9. So the radius is 3. So center is -2, -4. There's my center. So I'm just going to go up 3, down 3. Basically 3 to each side. Then do your best to connect your points. Kind of fix it right there. Yeah, there you go. Let's assume it's a nice circle. You laugh at mine, I'll laugh at yours when I get your papers back. You see a smiley face on your homework, I'm laughing at you. Well, in this case, your quiz. Alright guys, any questions? No? Alright, let me take roll really quick.